Hi, and welcome to a short video showing you how to use Gravity's IO's HTTP callout and JSON to JSON transform policies. Okay, let's head into Gravity and create an API. Add the version, proxy a traditional REST endpoint, give it a context path. I'm going to actually hit the Echo API just for this demo. Just stick to the defaults, validate that, save and deploy that, and that should have started now. So just to check that it's working, I'm going to go to here and you'll see that the echo response is coming back. Nice and straightforward. Okay, so now let's go into Gravity and go to the Policy Studio. Now, Gravity actually has a comprehensive Policy Studio, which allows you to kind of authenticate, transform headers, transform content, but also it allows you to do something super neat, which is actually call out to a third-party API. I'm going to hit the third-party API here. So now let's hit the URL. So the URL I'm going to go is to another Gravity demo API, which is called What Time Is It? And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add some context variables which actually which allow you to add. So you hit this URL, you get back some content, which is essentially what time is it. So if I now put this in the browser, you'll see what comes back. So if I now put that in the browser, you'll see that this comes back, which is super neat. So what I'm going to do is that you can see timestamp and date here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a couple of context variables. And the first one is that I'm going to say C_timestamp. And I want it to contain what's coming back in the timestamp response. Oops. Let me just put that back. It should be in this format. Okay, so callout response.content, and I want it to grab $timestamp. And then also I want it to grab, add another one called cDate, and I want it to grab the date. Now the examples on the syntax are actually further down here, and you can actually see the syntax here. In terms of how to get the variables out of the context. This actually gives you a nested response as well, so it's super nice. Okay, so now we've got two context variables which are coming back, one called cTimestamp and one called cDate. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to add that policy, and now we've got the HTTP policy there. So now what we've got is we're going to call the call out, we're going to add those context variables, and now what we want to do is that we want to use the JSON to JSON transformation policy to add those context variables on the response back to the customer. So now let's go to JSON to JSON transformation here. So here what you have is a special type of policy, and it's super powerful, and what it allows you to do is it allows you, and you can see the example here, it allows you to say, okay, operation default, there's different things that you can do with this Jolt specification, but you can actually add parameters, IDs and content here. So you can add this Jolt specification. I've got one built out, which actually I'll go through now. And you can see here, operation default, and you can use the spec parameter to add context variables. So I'm going to grab the cDate and cTimestamp from the context variable here. And all you simply have to do is put in this policy, override the content type, and then hit add policy. So what I'll do is that when I share back this with you, I'll give you an example, give you my example so that you've got it for demonstrative purposes. So now if we save that, what should happen is that you should get back your echo response, but you should also get back those extra parameters that we added in the context there. So just go back there, cDate and cTimestamp. Okay, so now we've deployed that. Let's head over to Postman again. And if we now send, we should get that. But can you see here at the bottom, you've also got cDate and cTimestamp here as well. So let's just show you what happens when we disable that policy. So if I disable, save, and deploy again, then what you should have is send, and you can see that's disappeared. So the JSON to JSON transformation policy is a super straightforward policy to use, but it's super powerful in order to grab elements from that HTTP callout and actually add them back into the response there. And obviously you can manipulate the response to however you want it to be, but you've got that ability to quickly grab data from a third-party API call and bring it back into your response in a straightforward way. Hope that helps. If you've got any questions, please do reach out. Thank you. Bye.